is up, guys? Welcome back to another fingerstyle tutorial. Today we're taking a look at my arrangement of What a Wonderful World. That was just a short section, but if you do want to see the full version, click the link above or down in the description. Now this song is going to be in drop D, so it's a little bit different from standard tuning, but if you're ready to give it a shot, let's get started. Alright guys, so to get into drop D tuning, you need to bring this 6th string down from an E to a D. To do that, you can use a tuner or you can use an app on your phone, but it should sound like that. The rest of these strings stay in standard tuning. It's just that one that comes down one step to a D. Once you've got that, grab a capo, stick it onto the 3rd fret, and you should be good to start. So the first verse is probably the easiest part of the song to play. It sounds like this. Okay, so for that, we're starting off in this shape here. It's just a simple bar on the 2nd fret, first 3 strings. And we're going to be hitting strings 3 and 2. That just gets us into the next bar and the start of the verse, really. For the next bar, we're playing this. Okay, so we've got 2 chords there. The first one, you're just going to keep holding that shape, and we're going to do a little hammer on now. 2nd fret to 3rd fret on the 2nd string. You're going to combine that with 2 other strings. First one is the bass note, which is the open 6th string, and then also the 3rd string, which is still held down here on the 2nd fret. So you're going to hit all those together. Now you notice each chord has got 2 bass notes. So we just played the first one, now we're going to play the second one, which is the open 5th string. Once you get that, we're going to hit the 1st string, which is also barred here on the 2nd fret. So that's the 1st chord. Now we transition up to the 2nd chord, which is this one. So what I did there was, I brought my two fingers here, up to the 4th fret, 5th and 6th strings. I'm also going to add my 4th finger down here. That's on the 1st string, 5th fret. Okay, so once you get that shape, you're going to hit strings 1, 2 and 6. Like that. That's just going to be followed by the 2nd bass note, which is the 5th string again, this time on the 4th fret. Okay, so we'll practice that a few times. From there, the next bar sounds like this. So we've got 2 more chords. One of them is the same as that one we just played, and we've got a new one now coming up. It's going to be this, which looks a bit uncomfortable, but it's not too bad to play really. Starting from the 1st string, I've got this finger down here on the 7th fret, relative to the capo, remember. And I've got this finger down here on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then for the bass note, I'm up here on the 5th fret of the 6th string. So that's the next chord we're going to be playing. Start off with just the bass note by itself on the 6th string. Then we're going to be playing strings 1 and 2 together. Like that. Then we're playing the next bass note, which this time is going to be the open 4th string. You want to play that with the 1st and 2nd strings as well. So far. Then we're playing those 1st and 2nd strings again, and then we're moving chords back down to the one we had before, this one. and we're just going to hit strings 1, 2, 6, followed by the next bass note, which is the 5th string, 4th fret. So that's just the same. There's that chord, and then back to that chord again. Okay, so I'll play those 2 bars slowly for you. From there, the next bar sounds like this. Okay, so you are here. Now we're moving down to this shape here. So I get my 2 fingers here on the 3rd fret, 1st and 2nd strings, like you're playing a G or something. Then you want to be hitting these 2. So this is like an E minor, but because we're in drop D, you need to put that finger there to get the right bass note. And then you want another finger underneath here, because that's going to be the 2nd bass note. So the way that I do this is I just bar that with my finger. I just press down on those 2 strings, because it's pretty easy to just kind of press on the 2 strings there. It's a little bit easier than trying to like play it like that. Okay. So once you get that, either like that or like that, it doesn't matter, whichever way is more comfortable for you, you're going to hit the 6th string by itself, then strings 1 and 2, then strings 1 and 2 again with the 2nd bass note, which you should remember is the 5th string on the 2nd fret. Hit all those together. Then we're playing the 1st and 2nd strings again. Then we're transitioning chord again. This time it's a D. Just a regular D, but because we're in drop D tuning, we can get the low D bass note. So you're going to hit that low bass note with the first 3 strings. Then the 2nd bass note is going to be open 5th. Okay, so I'll play that bar for you. Next bar sounds like this. Okay, so first chord is here. This one's a little bit unusual. So get your first finger here on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. Then your next 2 fingers come up here on the 4th fret, 5th and 6th strings. So you should have that position now. From there, you're going to hit the 6th string by itself, followed by the 1st and 3rd strings. So you're leaving that 2nd string out for now. That might be a little bit difficult. If you want, you can just play the 1st string is the most important string there. But I like to add the 3rd string in as well. From there, we're playing the next bass note, which is the 5th string on the 4th fret, along with the open 1st. Like that. Then it's just open 1st by itself. Okay, from there, move to a B minor shape. Once you're in the B minor, we're just going to hit strings 2, 3, and 5 together. Then the next bass note there, which is the 4th fret, 4th string. Then we're hitting the 2nd string twice. Okay, so I'll just play those first 4 bars for you slowly. Okay, so don't worry if you find that really challenging, because we do have some unfamiliar chord shapes there. But once you get that part down, we're moving on to the next bar, which sounds like this. So it's all based around this chord. So without a capo, you normally call this like a B flat. And we're going to hit strings 2, 3, and 5. So your 5th string there is on the 1st fret for that bass note. And we're making an A shape on the 3rd fret. So 2, 3, and 5. Then 2 and 3 twice. And then again with the next bass note, which is the 4th string, 3rd fret. Like that. From there, keep that chord, and we're going to do a little run here. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Just like that. Next bar. So you are here, take that finger off, get that open 5th string bass note, and then you want to kind of, it's easier if you just bar this fret from the 4th string down. And you want to hit the 2nd fret there on that 4th string. Then the melody is coming back in, and you're going to add this finger here, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Play it on the 3rd fret twice, take it off, 2nd fret, back on, 3rd fret, then release that bar and play the 1st string open, and then the 2nd fret on the 1st string. That's the easiest way that I kind of found to play that part. But that is the end of the first verse. So let me just play through that slowly for you. Alright guys, good job if you made it this far. We're into the 2nd verse now. Things start to pick up a little bit. It does get a little bit more difficult here. We kind of bringing in this 12/8 rhythm that the song is known for. Like all that kind of stuff. So from here, for that note there, that last note you played, you want to use your 2nd finger for that. That's so you can get into a D chord easily, because we're going to need this note here for the next bar. The next bar sounds like this. Okay, so it starts off with that D chord, and we're just going to do a little run like we did before. So it's going to go 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. So nice and simple to start off with. The next chord, we're going to come up here to the 6th fret on the 6th string. You can slide up here from the 4th fret if you want to. Like that. But once you get there, hit that 6th string note. Then open 4th. And then we need to bring our finger on here. This is also on the 6th fret, but it's on the 3rd string. You're going to play that one. Then bring this finger onto the 7th fret on that 3rd string as well. So it's like that. Then play that note again, the open 4th, and then the open 1st. So that bar. The next bar sounds like this. Okay, so these are just 2 bars that kind of link the 2 verses together. For this next bar, we're starting off with this shape here. Okay, so we were just here. So once you play that open first, take this finger and just bar it down here on the 5th fret, and add these 2 fingers here on the 7th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings. Once you're there, hit strings 2, 3, and 6 together. Then we're going to follow another short pattern. So you should be barring this whole fret here, and then hit strings 5, 4, 3. Like that. Then bring this finger out to the 8th fret on the 2nd string, play that note, then take it back in and play the 7th fret on the same string. Then we're going to transition chords again, this time to just a regular A. Once you're in the A shape, hit strings 1 and 5, which are both open. Then we're going to hit strings 4, 3, 2. Like that. Okay, so I'll play those 2 bars slowly. You notice I barred there. I don't generally play the A like this, I'll just play it like this. Because you're playing, the first part of that chord is the 1st and the 5th strings open. So you don't need to be there for that. You can just be like this, and then bar on there, and play those. It's a little bit easier. Next, we're getting really into the 2nd verse now. The first bar sounds like this. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of similar chords to the first verse, but we're adding more notes in here, so we need to kind of change the chord shapes a little bit. The first one is just the same. You're just barring these first 3 strings again and doing the same thing, that hammer on there. We're going to do the hammer on and then hit strings 5, 4, 3, 1. That's followed by 4 again. Then we're moving up to this shape here. So I bar the entire 4th fret, and then I use my finger down here on the 1st string, 5th fret, and another finger up here on the 3rd string of the 6th fret. Okay, so that can be a little bit uncomfortable because it's kind of irregular. You don't normally hold a string down here when you're doing a bar chord, but it just makes the whole section easier because you don't need to move this hand at all once you get that shape. You're just going to hit strings 1, 3, and 6 together. Then you're following another pattern. It's going to go 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that bar slowly. And then the next bar. Okay, so we're coming back to this chord here that you should remember from the first verse. It's largely the same, we're just going to add in a few extra notes here. So we've got the bass note, followed by the 4th string, then the 1st and 2nd strings again. Play them once, and then again with the 4th string. Then we're playing the 3rd string, and then the 1st and 2nd again. Like that. From there, we're going back to this same chord that we were just playing. So we played it here. Then we had that one. And then we're going back to it here, just like we did in the first verse. Once you're there, it's just the same as the previous bar. You're going to hit strings 1, 3, and 6, followed by that run. Okay, so I'll just play those 2 bars for you. From there, you'll remember in the first verse, we're going to move down to this shape, like the E minor, but barring here so we can get that bass note up there. This bar in this verse is going to sound like this. This one is quite simple really, because you should already be able to hold this chord. Once you're back in this chord, all you need to do is hit strings 6, 5, then 1 and 2, then 1 and 2 again with the the fourth string, sorry. Then back up to the 5th string. Then 1 and 2 again. Then we're changing chord, and this time it's just a D. So you want to hold the D chord and hit strings 1, 2, 3, and 6 together. Then we're doing the same kind of pattern. 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so from here, the next bar. This one is a little bit difficult because instead of playing this chord that we played on the first verse, you also need this note here. So you need to change your entire hand position to get that note. So I'm bringing my first finger onto that new note that we need, which is the 2nd fret, 4th string. Then I'm putting my second finger just underneath that on the 3rd string, 3rd fret, and then my other 2 fingers up here on the bass notes, 4th fret, 5th and 6th strings. So once you're in that chord shape, you don't need to move for this whole chord. We're just going to hit strings 6, 5, then 1 and 3 together, then 1 and 4 together, and then 3 by itself, and then 1 by itself. From there, we go to a B minor again. Once you're in the B minor, hit strings 2, 3, and 5, followed by 4 and 3, and then 5 again, and then the 2nd string twice. Like that. So it's quite common in this arrangement that the chord shapes are quite difficult, but once you're in them, you don't need to move, so it's not too difficult. That bar once more. The next bar should be easy for you because we've already played it before in the first verse. The next bar is back to this kind of B flat chord. We're going to play it slightly differently this time. We're going to play the same way at the start, just 2, 3, and 5 together. Then straight away followed by 4, and then 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, sorry, 3 times. Then we're doing that run again. So that's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that bar should be straightforward. The next one. Another quite easy one. Once you've got that run, you're going to lift off, hit open 5th string, then we're doing a little hammer-on run here. So you want to play the open 4th string, hammer on to the 2nd fret, and then the 4th fret. Then hit open 3rd string and do a hammer on to the 2nd fret. From there, we're just playing that melody again. So this time, you don't need to bar it, you can just play the notes here. It's going to be 3rd fret, 2nd string twice, back to the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open 1st. Okay, so from there, we just go to D and we're carrying on. But that is the second verse. I'll play through it once slowly for you from the start. Alright guys, now we're heading towards the bridge section of the song. It's quite challenging to play, but it's also my favourite part. We do have another kind of in-between section that takes us from the second verse into the bridge. So I'll play that for you now. Okay, so it's just another 2 bars. Starting off the same way as before into that D. So I like to do a little finger roll here, just the bass note and then the first 3 strings with a hammer on onto the second fret of the first string, like that. And then we just carry on doing the little run here. So that's 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. From here, we're going to come up to a E minor shape. After you hit that 5th string, just do a hammer on here onto the 2nd fret, 1st string, like that. Now we're in this E minor shape, and after that hammer on, we're going to hit strings 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so sounds like this. The next bar, you stay in this chord shape, we're just adding the melody underneath. The melody is like this. Something like that. So we're still in this E minor. You're going to add this finger down here onto the first string, 3rd fret. Play that along with the 5th string bass note. Then 3rd string, which should be open. Then take that finger off and play the 1st string open with the 4th string, which is on the 2nd fret. Then play the 2nd string open, and then we're doing a slide up, 3rd fret to 5th fret on the 1st string. Once you get there, you want to bar the 2nd fret again. So you've come up here, then taking your 1st finger and barring here, that 2nd fret from the 4th string down. You want to leave that 5th string open because we're going to be playing that next, like that. Once you play that, you're just going to do 4, 3, 2, which are all on the 2nd fret. Then add that finger onto the 3rd fret 2nd string and play that one. That bar is a little bit tricky, especially the first part. It can take a bit of muscle memory to get this down. Okay, so we're with the first bar as well. Alright, now we're into the bridge. So it starts off like this. Luckily, it just repeats after that. It's quite simple. Starting off from that A shape. That's the first part we're going to learn. You want to hit strings 1, 2, 3, and 5 together. Then we're going to be hitting the first string 4 more times by itself. It's in this kind of rhythm. Like that. once you get that, we're just going to hit strings 3, 4, and 5. That's when we transition to a D. You don't need the first string, so you don't have to put that finger on there if you don't want to. And we're going to hit strings 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 3. So regular D, and those are the strings you're going to hit. Like that. The next bar, you'll notice we're staying in that D chord, and we're going to do a little pull off to start with. So add that finger underneath here on the 3rd fret, and you want to add that finger there on the 2nd fret. Do the pull off there on the 1st string. So that's going to be hitting the first 3 strings and the 6th string. Then we're hitting the 4th string by itself. Then playing those first 3 strings again, do another pull off. This time, 2nd fret on the 1st string to open. Like that. From there, put that finger back on where it was, on the 2nd fret, and play the first 3 strings again. From there, we're just doing another kind of picking pattern. It's going to be 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 2. So it might be easier if you look at the tab so you can see which strings are being played. It's like that. Okay, so I'll play those 2 bars we just learned. From there, we do just start to repeat. At this point, we've changed to the D. We would normally do that kind of pattern, but instead, we're going to play the first part of it. So we've got 6, 5, 4, open. But as we're playing those, you want to move up here and get into this shape here. So from the D, I'm taking these 2 fingers up to the 7th fret, 2nd and 3rd string, and then I'm adding my 1st finger down here on the 5th fret, 1st string. So 6, 5, 4, moving up, 2 and 3 on the 7th fret, and then the 4th string open, and then the 1st and 2nd strings together. So that bar. That'll take some practice to get that kind of movement smooth there. Okay, so once you get that section down, the next bar sounds like this. Okay, so this part is quite difficult. I used to play it differently. I used to do something like this. Like squeeze all my fingers onto this fret, but that is really uncomfortable to play. Same with barring it like that. So instead, I move the melody up to here, and then just bar normally, and add that finger on there. It's a lot easier to play. The only thing is, if you don't have a cutaway guitar, it can be difficult to get your fingers up there to hit those notes. I'm really pushing hard against this so that I can reach that. If I show you on my other guitar, this one has a cutaway here, and reaching those notes is a lot easier. Okay, so once you get that shape, you're going to be barring on the 9th fret, and then 12th fret on the 2nd string, 11th fret on the 3rd string. And you're going to hit strings 2, 3, and 6. From there, hit strings 5 and 4. They're all on the 9th fret. Then 2 and 3, followed by 4, and then 2 and 3 again. So once you get that chord, you don't need to move it for the whole duration of it. It's just this transition which can be difficult. So this is the next chord we're coming to. So you take this shape, slide down to the 4th fret with your bar. Bar that. Keep these fingers in the same position, so they move from here to here. So I'm on the 4th fret barred, and I'm on the 6th fret of the 3rd string and the 7th fret of the 2nd string. So practice that a few times first. Just moving down like that. We still need to add one more note here though. Take this free finger and add it down here onto the 5th fret of the 1st string. So that's the part that will make it difficult. But we need all those notes. Once you get there, hit strings 1, 2, and 6, followed by 5, 4, then 2 and 3, then 4, then 1 and 2. So again, we don't need to move once we get there. It's just getting there that can be difficult. Okay, so that bar will take some practice. The next bar is quite similar. It's just a slight difference at the end. So once we get to this chord, starts off the same. We're playing 1, 2, and 6, 5, 4. So after you play that 4th string on the 4th fret, you're going to take this finger off and add up onto the 7th fret of the 4th string and play that note. Then take it off and play that 4th fret again on the 4th string, and then play the 5th string. So it's just like a little walking bass pattern there. Okay, so it's just a slight variation from the previous bar. Next, so this time we're still doing the same chords, but the way we play them is slightly different. So get back into this chord shape, same as before. This time we're going to hit strings 6, 5, 2 and 3 together, 4, 2 and 3 together, and then 2 and 3 together again. Like that. So that part should be easy if you can play the previous 2 bars. Once you get that, move back down to this chord, and we're going to hit strings 1, 2, 6, and then 1, 2, 5. Like that. From there, we're just doing that walking pattern again. So we've got 4, 4th fret, 4th string, add on this finger to the 7th fret, 4th string, off again, and then 5th string. So that pattern is just the same as the previous bar. Okay, so that's gonna take some practice. It will probably hurt your hand quite a bit when you first start practicing it. But those 3 bars sound like this. From there, okay, so this is quite a nice section to play. First, we're in this kind of chord that we had before, the one that's a bit like an E minor. So you should recognize that. We're barring the first 3 strings here. So it's like you're playing this E minor, but we're adding that bass note. So it's easier if you just bar the 2nd fret, first 3 strings here. We're gonna hit strings 1, 2, and 6, then 5, 4, then we're changing chord to D, hit the first 3 strings and the 6th string, 5, 4. Then we're changing the chord to an A, hit the first 3 strings again and the 5th string. Then we're taking a pause. Then I change from this kind of A shape to this kind of A shape. I bar it instead, and I just hit strings 3 and 2. So I move that because it prepares us for the next section, which is going to be the 3rd verse. Okay, so I'll play through that whole bridge. Alright, so once you get past the bridge, it does get easier. The 3rd verse is going to be identical to the 2nd verse. And once you get to the end, we're going to do a little outro, which sounds like this. Okay, something like that. There should be some familiar chords in there. We're starting off with a D, and the pattern is going to be 6, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then we're changing to a C7, so a C, and then add your 4th finger on here, onto the 3rd string, 3rd fret, and you're going to hit 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then to a B7, which is like this, and that pattern is going to be 5, 4, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're keeping this chord shape for the rest of the bar. So after that 5, we've got 4, 3, 2, and then 2 again, but we're adding this finger on here. That's the melody note there. It's going to be the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So those 2 bars. So if you can play the rest of the song, this section should be really easy for you. The next bar sounds something like this. So from that B7, you want to change to this shape here, which is a little bit awkward to play. 1st string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, open 3rd string, and then 2nd fret, 5th string, and open 6th string. So it sounds like that. Then you want to hit the 5th string, 2nd fret, then strings 2 and 3, then the 4th string open, then take that finger off the 1st string and play that open twice, then move to a normal D shape and play strings 2 and 3 together. Wait a little bit, and then the next bar, hit that open 5th string bass note, and then we've got that melody again. 3, 3, 2, 3 on the 2nd string. 1st string open twice, and then I play the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Then for the outro, I just go. So I'm making a D chord there, and I just go 6, 5, 4, 3, and then a little strum to finish. So that outro. that's going to be the end of the song.